You mentioned health coaching. Can you tell us a little bit about what health coaching is and what that means?
Sure. At least as we apply it, health coaching to us is really a strategic partnership between the physician and the patient. Mm-hmm. And what we do, we bring people in, we do detailed consults, very comprehensive exams, run enough objective data that we have a really good picture of what's happening with that person. Mm-hmm. Then we apply a strategy to get them better, whatever it may be. Again, it might be a shoulder injury, it might be headaches, it might be neck pain, or it might be some other functional conditions. But we then lay out a program for them to follow, and we use objective data to make sure that what we're doing is actually working, as opposed to like, hey Leo, are you feeling better? Right. Sure, I feel better. Well, okay, what does that mean? Exactly. It doesn't mean that you're getting better, it just means that maybe we're masking the symptoms somehow, because sometimes we do that, right? So we want to see the objective data go in the right direction, but it also allows us to hold each other accountable. Mm-hmm. So you get to be accountable, you get to be accountable to me, because I'm going to ask you to do certain things. And then we're going to track that, and we're going to make sure, using objective data, that you're doing those things. Mm-hmm. And then I'm accountable to you, because what happens is, if I'm asking you to do these things, and you're not getting better, then you want to know why. Right. So then I'm accountable to say, well, what we're doing actually isn't right. And quite honestly, I reserve the right to be wrong, because I'm not perfect, and neither are you, and neither is any physician or non-physician out there. Right. So the purpose is for you to hold me accountable, so that if we're not getting the results that we're looking for, then we change gears. We shift direction a little bit, and then we keep applying it until we find out really what works best for, let's say, Leo Goikman.
Why don't you tell us some things we need to know about increasing performance and keeping ourselves healthy in our day-to-day activities?
Okay, so what we've come up with is an acronym, and it's real basic. It's just be healthy. So these are the things that people need to do every single day to be healthy individuals. But this applies to the athlete. This applies to, again, to the everyday person. It's not about just performing at a very high level, but if you think about performing at a very high level, you can think of the elite athlete, you can think of the track stars and the basketball stars or the volleyball stars or whatever, but you also want to look at the people around you that really are healthy individuals, but they're not healthy because they're 18, right. They're healthy and they're 40 and they're 50 and they're 60 years old. So those are elite performers to me also. So the acronym Be Healthy, it basically goes like this. The first one is just the B stands for be engaged. Mm-hmm. Understand your body, understand what's happening with it, understand the difference between pain and soreness, be alert to what's going on around you, just be engaged, right? The second one is eat well, okay? Mm-hmm. Food is inflammatory. And so people think, to be healthy, it's really easy, diet and exercise. Right. What does that mean, right? Diet and exercise. Yeah. So I eat whole wheat bread instead of white bread. Well, neither is good for you, but nobody takes that into account. So they read the next book, or they do the next thing, and it's the next diet, I want to lose weight and all that. Well, food's inflammatory, so you need to know that. You need to understand how food works in the body, how you digest it, how you assimilate it, how you get rid of the waste product. All of those are important, and quite honestly, every individual is different. Mm-hmm. So you need to know really how to eat well. H, healthy habits, right? But habits in general, we're creatures of habit, right? So I wake up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I get up and I brush my teeth and I do this and this. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to create habits, just make them good ones, and you need to know how to plan your day to do that, and how that works. And it sounds a whole lot easier than it is. Absolutely true. But if you're going to create habits, just make them good ones. The next E stands for elimination. Okay, so elimination, most people think of elimination as, okay, get all the bad stuff out of my body. Right. Okay, that's true, you're supposed to do that. But it also means eliminating bad relationships in your lives, or eliminating the things that don't help you as a person get better, right? So let's take a coach. Let's say you have a coach that doesn't really click with you. They scream and yell and throw their arms up and they intimidate you. Well, that's the wrong coach. You need to be encouraged. So that's okay. That coach might be an elite coach who gets 90% of their kids or their athletes to just start them. Fantastic. But if it doesn't work for you, then eliminate that aspect and go to something that actually works better for you. Same with your doctor, right? And I really truly believe this. If you don't fit with your doctor, if they're not listening to you, if you don't feel comfortable with them, fire them. You're allowed to. We actually work for you. So it's a matter of, okay, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if this works for me. I'm going to go try somebody else. And that's totally okay. And I tell all my patients that with me or with other physicians in my office, whatever it may be. A is activity, right? Be active. It doesn't mean you have to go run a marathon. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. It doesn't have to mean you pump weights. It means that you just have to live an active lifestyle. Garden, cut your grass. I don't care what you do. Quite honestly, whatever you enjoy, but you got to get your body moving. L is for liquids. We're chronically dehydrated in this country. So rule of thumb is, ounces of body weight. What? I don't even know what that is. I couldn't even tell you what that saying is. You know what? Drink 96 ounces of water a day. There was a study out there that said you don't have to drink 64 ounces of water. That's a myth, and it just doesn't work. And at the end, and it was published in the newspapers. And at the end of this article, it said you should take in as much water as you excrete every day, 64 ounces. So it was boggling to me why they would say drinking 64 ounces is a myth, and then at the end of that article is drink 64 ounces of water. But really, you got to push that up because we're so chronically dehydrated. Get it up there. Liquids are not. It does not mean caffeine. It doesn't mean coffee. It doesn't mean tea. It doesn't mean soda. Sodas, no. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means 96 ounces of water. So get your liquids in. The T there is thinking. Everything comes. There's a great author out there, Napoleon Hill, passed away a long time ago. Wrote a great book called Think and Grow Rich. And the first words of that book are thoughts are things. They're tangible things. So you have to put your brain there. You have to know what you're going for. You have to think about it. You have to visualize it. You have to do all these great things, and it helps quite a bit. H is you got to let your body heal. If you do get injured, if you are sick, if you have a disease, whatever it may be, take a break, take a deep breath, and you have to let your body heal. If you don't do that and you just keep pushing through it, basically it just leads to chronic injuries, chronic disease. Right. That leads to all kinds of bad things. The last Y is not a Y. It's actually the word why, and it's why and comply is what I say. So the why is if you're in a doctor's visit, challenge that doctor. Why are you putting me on this medication? As a chiropractor, why are you putting me on this regimen of care? What's the purpose behind it? What does it do? Ask all those questions. And if you don't get the right answers, or if they're too busy for you, then go to a different doctor, fire them. Same with me, fire me. Because you need to have those answers, because quite honestly, I'm not Leo, right? I don't have to walk home with neck pain, back pain, headaches, digestive disorders, autoimmune disorders. That's not me. You have to deal with that. So it's your responsible to get that information. But once you get that information and you're comfortable and you respect that physician or that advice, you have to comply with that. Okay. So if I tell you to do X, and you say, whatever, well, you can't expect to get better, right? So you really have to comply once you get the why satisfied to your liking.
Wow, that was awesome and extremely eye-opening. Now, I also know that you have made an incredible offer for the athletes that are watching this interview. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Leo, what we're doing today for the athlete is we're taking our true baseline assessment, which is something we do in the office, and it's typically a $500 assessment, and we're knocking it down to $79. It's just for a very limited time, but that's what we're doing because of this interview that we're having. So what a true baseline assessment is everybody does baseline concussion assessments on a computer. It's a great tool. We do it. But then we add some extra steps. We add a functional neurologic assessment, and we also add an orthopedic assessment to that. So we have a true baseline on the athlete. So when they go out there, they're less apt to get hurt. But if they do get hurt, we already know what their ACL looks like. We already know what their brain functioning is. So we have a much better way to assess what the damage is, what the protocol is to get them back, to get them better and get them back on the field more effectively, more efficiently, and quicker, quite honestly, and stronger. Sure. Simply that.
So for those athletes that want to take advantage of this, is there a number that they can call, or what do they have to do?
Yeah, you know what, just call the office. My front desk coordinator will take care of everything. The number is 224-535-8707, and we'll get them in as quickly as possible and take care of business.
Excellent. So that's 224-535-8707. mentioned that they saw the interview where you made this offer, and I know you guys will take good care of them. Dr. Mitchell, I just want to thank you so much for your time. This was absolutely eye-opening. I know that I've learned a tremendous amount, and I know that the viewers have as well. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Yeah, thanks, Leo. Appreciate it.
Thank you.